Hi lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit, and today I have a video that nobody ended up asking for, but I wanted to do it anyways. This is my base makeup collection slash what I'm currently using on an everyday basis when I do my makeup. I've mentioned it before, I work 2 jobs, I work 6 days a week. Lately it's been 7 shifts a week, so might as well be all 7 days, but I do wear makeup 7 days a week. Today is Saturday, technically January 4th, and this is the only day that I don't work. I work Sunday through Friday, so putting on makeup, I go through my base products rather quickly, and with that, I actually don't have a very large selection of what I can use. I kind of just use what I like, go through it, and then repurchase it. So this is going to be a very small collection video, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I have been reaching for over the last little while. Some of these are newer to my collection and the first time I've actually been trying them. Some of these have been around for a while and repurchases. So let's just get into it. We are going to start off with the way that I apply my makeup. So after skincare and all of that lovely stuff is done, the very first thing that I apply is I do use a primer. Now, I have gone through so many different primers over the time, and I've repurchased some and then wanted to try new ones. And currently, the one that I am using is a brand new product that I not only just recently picked up, but it is the first time that I'm actually trying this. And this is the e.l.f. primer. It's the Power Grip Primer plus the 4% niacinamide. Now, I remember talking in one of my other videos about, I think it was the Milk Makeup primer, the gripping primer, and this was mentioned, and I remember still Steph had mentioned something about the comparisons between the two because I think I was curious about them. I have not tried the original one, which would be the green one, but I did pick up this one. It's just a little travel size, and so far I actually really like it. Now, I would have to go back and check her comment, but I can't remember if this e.l.f. one is tackier than the Milk Makeup or vice versa. But I do find that I actually really enjoy this one. There's not a whole lot in here, and I've had this for probably a couple weeks at this point. But I have enjoyed it. When I first bought it, I put a little bit on the back of my hand and it spread out so nicely. But then when I put it on my face, it didn't spread out the way that I was expecting it to. But I have to remember that my face is not the back of my hand. I've had that with different serums and stuff. I put it on the back of my hand. It's been so smooth, so beautiful. I've loved it. But when I actually go to put it on my face, it doesn't feel the same. So testing on the back of my hand is something that I should probably stop doing for certain products. However, even though this one is a little annoying to kind of put on, I kind of have to like pat it into my skin. I can't just like smooth it over because unfortunately at the moment my face isn't baby soft smooth, but I do still actually really like this one. So I am kind of curious about the original one, but I kind of like the idea of the niacinamide being in this. So there is a chance that I will repurchase this one in a full size when I'm complete, but this is the one and only primer that I currently have in my collection. So now I'm going to move on to color correctors, which I don't always use, and for the longest time I never did reach for them. I had a couple of them a long time ago. I tried to use them. It didn't really kind of pan out. I didn't really understand them at the time. This was a very long time ago, and I just stopped using them altogether. But back maybe in the summertime, somewhere around there, I wanted to try a couple of the e.l.f. ones, and this one right here, the peach one, is for under your eyes, and you guys can see how much usage I've actually gotten on this one. I have not used these in quite a while, so I don't know how many more uses I'd be able to get out of this one. I don't remove the stoppers, but just on its own, I could probably get a few more uses out of it, and this would be considered gone. But this green one, actually, you can kind of see on this side here, the windowing, the scraping. I don't mind this one either. I use this one a lot on my face when I do tend to reach for it because I do have a very red face. But I do like these. I, again, don't reach for them very often, but I don't know if these are the ones I would repurchase in the future or not. Again, I haven't really tested out very many color correctors because it hasn't really been my thing. So there is a good chance that I would repurchase this just because I know I like it and I'm comfortable with it. But if I do tend to use them, of course, those are the ones that I go for. So those are the only 2 color correctors in my collection as well. And next we are moving on to foundation, which has been a foundation that I have gone back to time and time again. I absolutely love and adore this, and even though there's so many other ones that I find I really enjoy, this is one of the better, to me, drugstore foundations that I have thoroughly loved each and every time I've worn it. And this is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation. I get mine in the shade 102. It's probably a little bit, just a touch too dark for me, especially this time of year. They did come out with some middle range shades. There was like a, because I think 101 was too light for me. I think there's like a 101.5 now. I haven't tried it. I guess I could. But I really like this. I think I tried the Pro Glow and it just wasn't for me. I do have oily skin, and I find that this is just beautiful on the skin. Today I wasn't quite happy with how my makeup turned out so much, but it's still what it is. This is the one and only foundation that I am currently using, so it's the only one that's in my collection at the moment. I have used the other infallible one, like the glass bottle. I do like that one, but there's just something about this one that I keep going back to. I do want to make an honorable mention for one that I really enjoy as well, and I think has been discontinued. You can purchase it off Amazon, but it is a CoverGirl foundation, and I absolutely love that one as well. This foundation and that one, it had the red cap. I can't quite remember the name of it. If I can remember, I will put a picture. Those have been my top two drugstore foundations, and I absolutely love them. So I would like to try and repurchase the CoverGirl one as well, kind of go back and forth between the two. But these are both some of my absolute favorite foundations, even just of all time, high-end Sephora stuff included in that as well. Next, concealer. I have gone through so many different concealers, and the one that I'm going to show you guys is just another repurchase. It's not one of my favorites, but it's just the one that I currently have. I am almost finished this one, so when I do end up going to buy a new one, I'm probably not going to repurchase this one. Not because I don't like it, but probably just because I want to try something new. There is a good chance that one day I will come back to this, but this is the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is in the shade 010. So as you can see, this is peeling off, and there is some pretty good usage going on in here too. I did have this at work with my little makeup collection going on there, just so when I did need to touch up and stuff, I had something with me. I brought this home when I ran out of my other concealer, and I've just been using this one ever since. So at some point during this year, when I do run out of this, again, I probably won't go pick this one up right away. I don't know what I want to use next. Maybe something from Sephora. I'm kind of like looking at a couple of things right now, but I don't mind this one. It's nothing spectacular, but I like it for what it is, and again, it's the only one, so it's just what I'm using at the moment. Next, we are going to chat about powder, and I go back and forth between liking a pressed powder and liking a loose powder. I really enjoy both of them, and I find that both loose and pressed have a place. And sometimes they have, like, one has a place in my collection over the other for a moment or two, and then it kind of switches. But I think just in my makeup routine, they both have a place. So I ended up actually purchasing one loose and one pressed recently. And I kind of try to have one of each. It doesn't always work out. I usually go through one, will pick up another, because if I get tired of the loose powder, I'll go pick up a pressed, and then vice versa. I get tired of the pressed powder, I go pick up a loose powder. Now, this is the second one that I have purchased. I just picked this up the other day, and I have used this for maybe the second time because I just wanted to finish off the other one. But this is the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. This is the pressed version. And again, this is my second one. So I just started reaching for this one. I really like this to just set down my whole face. I have wanted to try the Halo Glow, I think it is, or the HD, the loose powder version. I just haven't picked it up, but I decided to pick up a compact of pressed powder because I like to kind of bring it with me if I need to, where I feel like it's a little harder to kind of travel, even if it's back and forth from home to work with a loose powder. I'd rather have a pressed powder, which is also one of the reasons why I really enjoy them. Of course, I don't bring this with me too often, and lately, with the combination of all this stuff, my makeup has been staying on pretty well. So I haven't needed to really touch up as much as I have had to in the past. We'll see what happens when summer rolls around, but for now I've really been enjoying it. So this has just been staying at home, but I do like the fact that it's in a compact, and if I need to, I can always bring it with me. I did pick up a loose powder as well, which is new to me in a couple different ways. One, the color, and two, the brand. So I have been really curious to try out a pink setting powder for under my eyes, and I was looking at the Huda Beauty ones, but I really wasn't ready to spend that much on it without knowing or kind of testing it out prior to. And even spending $30 Canadian on the little mini one is just not worth it. I'd rather spend the larger amount on the full size, but even that is like $56 or something. So I want to kind of wait, get a feel for if a pink loose powder is something that I'm going to enjoy. So I did happen to find one from Lottie London. This is the one and only Lottie London product I've ever tried. And I do think that I'm going to enjoy this. I have used this a little bit. It looks like there's a lot out of here, but I have not used that much. I can promise you that. I only got this like a couple of weeks ago. So I'm thinking maybe it wasn't as full as it probably could have been. But this is the brightening pink powder. I believe that's all that it's called. And I have enjoyed this so far. I haven't put a whole lot of it on because even when I do use powder, even though I am oily, I don't use a whole lot of powder. So I have just lightly dipped into this, kind of spread it over my face, under my eyes, and I have enjoyed it so far. I want to try just a little bit more to see if I can get just a touch bit more of like a brightening look. And then after this, I go in with this around the rest of my face. Before I had this, I was just using this everywhere. I usually set my under eyes first, and then I do the rest of my face. So this was getting a little bit more use prior to me purchasing this one. So we'll see how long this compact lasts opposed to the other one that I just ran out of. So those are my base products, but I did decide to include a couple of other things. And what I actually picked up recently when I picked up that brightening powder was the L'Oreal setting spray. I don't always use a setting spray. The most recent one I had was the Patrick Star one. I can't remember the brand name right now or what the thing was actually called, but this is supposed to be like a dupe of it. But this is the Infallible 3-second setting mist. It is very strong. I found that the one size, that's the brand, I found that the one size one was like smelt and tasted like hairspray. This one has the same effect, not as strong I find, but I have enjoyed it the couple of times that I've used it. I found that my makeup has stayed, so I do think that this is something I will probably repurchase. I'm really going to test this out come summertime though. So we're going to see how much I use it between now and then. And if I have to pick up a new bottle at that point, then I probably will. But I have enjoyed this one so far. Now, a couple other products that I wanted to include in here that is kind of base products, but they're still just my everyday, all the time use products that I still only have like one or so of. And the first one is going to be my brow gel that I have picked up from e.l.f. This is in the shade, it doesn't say, I want to say it's like brunette. It's like the second shade. It's the Wow Brow Tinted Gel. I don't know. It says it on the cap, I think, but I can't remember. So I don't mind this. I do find that I kind of like the idea of a brow gel a lot better than how I was doing my brows, which for the longest time I was using a shade out of my Geodes palette. I've gone through so much of that shade just using it strictly in my brows. I really liked that. Then I found a couple of my brow pencils. I found an Urban Decay one that I thought I lost. I had picked one up from Maybelline. I liked those as well, but sometimes I felt like it just took way too much time and effort for me to draw my brows on, and I'm not gonna lie, but my brows has never really been a big part of my makeup routine. I very rarely go and ever get them actually done. A friend of mine does them, so like maybe twice a year I go. So for me to actually do my brows and spend the time and effort is just, I like them when they're done and when they look nice and all that kind of stuff, but it's just not a big priority for me. Whereas some people, like, the brows is all that they care about. So I find that a brow gel is just super fast, it's easy, and I like this, but sometimes I find too much product comes out on the wand, and I do try to wipe it off I really like the Benefit one, and I don't know if I'm going to go back to that one anytime soon, but I do really enjoy this one. I did see that they had like a clear brow gel, and a part of me kind of wants to try that because I've never tried a clear brow gel before. I do find that my brows are just a slight bit too light for me. So I do kind of like something with a little bit more color. I'm like shade 3 and the Benefit stuff. This is like shade 2, I think. So I kind of like that lighter brunette look. So I tend to go for like a colored gel for that reason. However, I'm not opposed to trying the clear gel, which I might end up doing because maybe not so much product is going to come out on the wand. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but at least when you apply it, you're not going to see a big stark of color and have to sit there and try and blend it out for a little bit. So I'm not opposed to repurchasing this one specifically either, but I might try another kind or two in between actually purchasing this again sometime in the future. Another product that I wear on the daily is this liner, and this one is from Wet n Wild. This is the breakup proof liner, and this is the only one that I have currently. I do really like the Essence waterproof one, and sometimes like that one is one that I was using for a very long time, but I picked this one up a while ago after I ran out of that one, and I've been using it ever since. I really do enjoy it, and there's a good chance that I'll buy this one once it dries out or go back to the Essence one, but I only wear these liquid liners. I find that they just work the best for me. For me, it's the easiest. I don't have to take too long trying to put them on, and I just like how they are. I've been using them for a very long time, so this is what I have for that. And then mascara. Now, today is actually the last day I'm going to be using this mascara that I'm going to show you right here. This is from Rare Beauty. This is like so gunky and it's drying up now and everything like that. I definitely got good use on this. So this will be tossed out, but I have enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to purchase a full size one. I think I liked it better when I first opened it, and after the first couple of uses, I really liked it. And then the last little bit, maybe it is because it's been drying up, so a full size might be slightly different, but I find it's almost harder. Like today, I don't really see very much on my lashes, so I'm kind of thinking that I want to try something else in the meantime. And mascara, I go through trying so many different kinds all the time. There has definitely been a few that I've repurchased, but I'm not always repurchasing the same mascara because I always love to try new kinds. So the chance of me repurchasing this one is probably going to be slim to none, but that's just because I like to try different things. So what I will be replacing it with, and I have not ever used before, but I do have this in my collection. It's a mini, so I don't know if it came in an advent calendar or what it was, but this is a Sephora brand one, and this is the Lash Craft Length and Volume Mascara. So I will be trying this out as of tomorrow. I am excited to see how it is. If any of you have used this before, let me know because I'm curious to see what it's going to be like and if you enjoy it. But this is what I'm going to be going with. I did have this one and an Ilia one that I have in my collection as well, which I forgot to bring out here, but I decided to try this one first just because it is smaller and I can kind of get it out of my collection and then move on to the Ilia one. I think that one has more of a natural look to the lashes, which I don't mind either sometimes, but I really like a full dramatic lash. So I figured that more into like the summertime, that the Ilia one might be a little bit of a better idea. So I'm going to stick with this one for now and then afterwards move to the Ilia one. But I will need to repurchase a mascara sometime soon because this is not going to last me forever. So that is my base makeup collection slash what I'm currently using. Like I said, I only really have one, maybe two of each of the products, so I don't have a whole bunch to go through with you guys. But before I end this, I did want to mention I found my Pat McGrath red lipstick that I had talked about in my lipstick declutter video, and this is the shade of it. So this is the one that's a little bit more, you wouldn't really think, like in person, it's got a bit more of a berry tone to it. And this is the one that turned out to be a little bit more berry than I was expecting. So maybe I can actually finish this off since it's not so much product left in here either, but that's going to be a big task, so that's for another time. But back to my collection of base products, that's all that I use. And once I get low on a product, or sometimes I end up running out of it before I get a chance to repurchase something, a lot of this stuff is drugstore stuff. I kind of don't mind using drugstore base makeup for myself. The primers more often than not, the concealers sometimes, the foundations. I really enjoy some of the ones from the drugstore, so I will probably just stick with those. But I do like to test out ones and just try different ones that Sephora has, the more higher end brands and that sort of thing. But it's a very small collection, but I don't need a whole lot. I do go through them rather quickly, so I do feel like considering these part of my makeup collection just doesn't make sense to me, because I'm only going to ever really have 1 or 2 of each product, and because I go through them so quickly, there's no point in me trying to keep a large selection of things, even though I probably would still get through it. I'd rather just buy what I like, use it, and then purchase something else afterwards. So that is it. So yeah, that's everything for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.